Welcome to a deep dive into the latest developments surrounding Chelsea Football Club. In this narrative, we'll explore 5 major stories that have captured the attention of fans and pundits alike. We'll begin with the potential departure of David Fofana to AEK Athens, move on to the anticipated arrival of Victor Osimhen, delve into the internal power struggle between Todd Boehly and Eghbali, examine Mykhaylo Mudryk's journey on future at the club, and finally discuss the possible return of Marc Guehi to Stamford Bridge. Let's get started. Our first story centres on David Fofana, the young Ivorian forward who finds himself on the brink of a significant career move as he edges closer to a transfer to AEK Athens. This development is a clear signal of Chelsea's ongoing efforts to trim down their squad, particularly by offloading players who have struggled to secure a regular spot in the first team. Fofana, who joined Chelsea in January 2023 from Norwegian side Molde for a reported fee of £8.4 million, has had a challenging time at Stamford Bridge. His tenure at Chelsea has been marked by limited opportunities to showcase his talent, with the striker making just 3 first-team appearances. Among these, only one was a start, underscoring the difficulties he has faced in breaking into the starting lineup. Despite his evident potential, Fofana has remained on the periphery, especially after the arrival of new head coach Enzo Maresca. Maresca has made it clear that players not fitting into his plans will be sidelined, creating an environment where fringe players like Fofana are seeking moves elsewhere for regular playing time. Now, let's shift our focus to another major storyline involving Chelsea, the potential signing of Nigerian striker Victor Osimhen. Chelsea has long been linked with the prolific Napoli forward, whose goal-scoring prowess has made him one of the most sought-after strikers in world football. Despite a summer filled with rumours and negotiations, Osimhen remains at Napoli, having entered the final year of his contract. The failure to secure Osimhen's services during the summer transfer window has been a source of disappointment for both the player and Chelsea. Mykhaylo Obi, a former Chelsea star and close confidant of Osimhen, recently shed light on the situation during his podcast, revealing that the deal came agonizingly close to completion. According to Obi, both Chelsea and Osimhen were eager to finalize the transfer, but a combination of paperwork delays and a lack of time prevented the deal from going through. Obi emphasized that while an agreement was nearly reached, the club simply ran out of time to iron out the final details before the window closed. Osimhen, who is currently on loan at Turkish giants Galatasaray, was reportedly disappointed that the move to Chelsea did not materialise. Despite this setback, there is growing anticipation that the deal could be revived in the January transfer window. Obi, who referred to Osimhen as his younger brother, expressed confidence that the move will eventually happen, citing the strong relationship between the player and the club. He also highlighted the mutual compromises made during the initial negotiations, suggesting that only a few minor details need to be resolved for the deal to be completed. As we move forward, let's turn our attention to Chelsea's internal dynamics, specifically the significant power struggle between Todd Boehly and Eghbali. This clash at the highest levels of the club's management is shaping the direction Chelsea will take in the coming years. Todd Boehly, who has been one of the most visible faces of Chelsea's ownership since the £2.5 billion takeover from Roman Abramovich in May 2022, is reportedly involved in a growing conflict with Eghbali, the co-founder of CLEARLAKE Capital, which holds the majority stake in the club. Boehly, who owns a 38.5% stake in Chelsea alongside Hans-Jörg Wyss and Marc Walter, has seen his influence at the club diminish over the past 18 months. Initially, Boehly took a hands-on role in the club's sporting operations, even serving as an interim sporting director. However, as time has passed, Eghbali has taken on a more prominent role, particularly in working closely with Chelsea's sporting directors, Lawrence Stewart and Paul Winstanley. This shift in power dynamics has led to tensions between Boehly and Eghbali, with the latter now seen as the primary decision-maker at the club. Reports have emerged suggesting that Boehly is considering selling his stake in Chelsea, which would amount to nearly 13% of the club. However, any such move is likely to be blocked by ClearLake Capital, which holds a controlling 61.5% stake in the club. As the majority owner, ClearLake has the right to veto any sale of shares by its partners, and sources indicate that they have no intention of allowing Boehly to sell to outside investors. This situation has led to what some describe as a civil war within the Chelsea boardroom, with both Boehly and Eghbali reportedly exploring the possibility of buying each other out. Next, we focus on another player whose future at Chelsea is under intense scrutiny, Mykhaylo Mudryk. The Ukrainian winger joined the club in January 2023 for a staggering £89 million. Mudryk arrived at Chelsea with sky-high expectations following his impressive performances for Shakhtar Donetsk, where he had been directly involved in numerous goals across domestic and European competitions. However, his transition to the Premier League has been anything but smooth. Since joining Chelsea, Mudryk has struggled to replicate the form that made him one of the most exciting young talents in European football. His stats at Chelsea, 7 goals and 5 assists in 62 appearances, fall short of the expectations set by his hefty transfer fee. This season, under the guidance of new manager Enzo Maresca, Mudryk has found playing time even more limited, with just 61 minutes in the Premier League and more involvement in Europa Conference League qualifying matches. Despite these challenges, there are those who still believe in Mudryk's potential to become one of the world's top players. Guehi, a former teammate of Mudryk at Shakhtar Donetsk, recently tipped the winger to win the BALLON d'Or, citing his immense talent and the inspiration he provides to other Ukrainian players. Sudakov, who has played alongside Mudryk in over 50 matches, is confident that his compatriot has the qualities needed to reach the pinnacle of world football. He emphasised that while Mudryk has yet to fully showcase his abilities at Chelsea, the winger possesses the raw talent and determination to succeed at the highest level. Sudakov's faith in Mudryk reflects the sentiments of those who have seen him at his best, and who believe that his struggles at Chelsea are merely a phase in a longer journey toward greatness. Finally, we turn our attention to Marc, a player whose potential return to Chelsea is generating significant buzz. Guehi, a product of Chelsea's esteemed academy, left the club in 2021 to seek regular first-team football, joining Crystal Palace. His decision to leave Chelsea in search of playing time has proven to be a wise one, as Guehi has since established himself as one of the Premier League's most reliable defenders. At Crystal Palace, Guehi has flourished, earning praise for his composed performances at the heart of their defence. His consistent displays have not only solidified his status as a key player for Palace, but have also earned him a place in the England national team. Guehi's development has been so impressive that he has attracted attention from his former club Chelsea, who are now reportedly interested in bringing him back to Stamford Bridge. Chelsea's interest in re-signing Guehi is somewhat surprising, given the club's already strong contingent of centre-backs. However, recent injuries and inconsistencies in their defensive line have prompted Chelsea's hierarchy to consider bolstering their options. Guehi's contract with Crystal Palace runs until 2026, meaning any potential transfer would require a significant financial outlay. Despite this, Chelsea appears willing to explore the possibility of bringing Guehi back, recognizing the value he could add to their squad.